Little of a bittersweet morning this morning. You guys might have thought, hey, Anthony had his arm operated on Thursday and got home at 9 o'clock. There's no possible way that he would be at the qualifiers. But here I am. I told the doctor I'd stay at home. I am home. I'm at the track. So I am going home before my wife gets very upset. I am on my way home, but I thought I'd bring you guys a report of what took place this morning at the qualifiers. Just let me prop that puppy up right there. So we had some real good news with a lot of horses. A little perplexing news with White Tiger. Made a break on the front end. James said he was just loaded with power. Said he was a little choppier today. It rained all night, and what happens at Mohawk doesn't just get muddy. You get a little mud on top of concrete. And he said he was a little choppy. Last year we raced him with pads on. Maybe his feet are bothering him a bit. So James said, listen, Anthony, when I'm on like 211, I come 28. If we were qualifying on Monday, that's the kind of mile he'd go today anyway. Well, not technically, but a little bit. So James has lobbied quite hard to qualify him on Monday. We entered him. I'm going to mull it over. We're going to see how he looks at his lunch. I'm going to have to rely on Harry. I'm not going back, but see how he looks at his lunch, see how he is tomorrow. And then in turn, we will put the pads back on his feet. A different pad, but similar. And then we'll qualify him on Monday. So we'll see how that goes. Also, a little bit of bad news. Not an Angel. Schooled in 2-1 last quarter and 28 and a piece. Looked great. Pulled up a little lame after left hind. Now she's had her problems. Left hind is a baby. Then there was a curb. This is down low. Like ankle. Sesamoid. Pasturin. I fear that she may have a little line in it. Not like mine, but a line in it. Obviously recoverable from, I would suspect. I don't want to talk. I shouldn't be talking about it until I know. It didn't present like soft tissue. It presented like a bone. So we'll have the vet look at it. It swelled up pretty quick. So that would lead me to believe sesamoid. Maybe Pasturin. We'll see. Hopefully it's not too bad and she'll just need some time off. But not an Angel. Just looks so good the last 2 weeks and looks so good today. And then very, very frustrating. Larry, myself, Al, Mo, John own big chunks of this filly, and all the people that own Daryl, all the guys that own smaller pieces. I'm really sorry, but it looks like a line. Looks like a line or a crack in that left hind lower part for Not an Angel. Now we get the bad. The thing with White Tiger is not bad news. Long year for White Tiger. Not too concerned with that just yet. But nevertheless, I would like to see the qualifier went in 57, and I can assure you from my vantage point, he was going a big mile this morning when he made a break. So he looks ready. The bad news is if we think we're going to race him on Saturday, I can't go out and qualify him in 56 on Monday. Probably a mile in 58, 57 and a piece, 5 days out. Good recovery afterwards and then ship out. I have spoke to Tim Twaddle, a very, very good trainer. They have a fractional stable there, him and his friend in Pennsylvania. Anybody in the Ontario area knows Tim Twaddle from the 80s and 90s. I remember him from driving Ship Snoops, and he worked for John Burns. I spoke to Tim a moment ago. Tim is willing to take those horses, full well knowing that White Tiger will be heading to Andrew Harris right after, and Stonebridge Simba potentially to John Boutenshane or Andrew Harris also. But they'll be in the care of Tim Twaddle for next Saturday. Casanova's Jewel, schooled in, trained in 2-7 last quarter and 28 and a piece. We're going to qualify him back on Monday. He looked good. And if he looks good on Monday, he'll be going to the Stallion Series that Saturday also. And maybe, just a tad. Now, I'm not expecting a lot from Just a Tad on Saturday. Colin Kelly's going to have to drive him. I obviously can't. James is at Mohawk. I'd be surprised if Just a Tad didn't make a mistake, and I'd be happy if he didn't and got some money, and I would be absolutely astonished if he won. But he's been putting a smile on my face for the past 5 starts, so good for him. If he comes out and looks okay, we might enter him in the Stallion Series also, which is a jump, but our clients that own him are licensed in Pennsylvania, so I don't suspect there'll be any problems there. at all. So we'll have some fun with just a tad also, I'm sure, if we decide to go. Worst case scenario, Casanova's Jewel doesn't qualify on Monday. White Tiger, we decide not to race him because there's lots of racing this year. And just a tad doesn't look like we're going to take him, then it'll be just Simba. But Simba will be going. He schooled good this morning in 159 in the mud. Looked good. He was on that right line like he was last year. But we will make a few more equipment changes, maybe have him looked at by the vet real quick before we send him out. But that's okay. He looked good to me. Trotting good. James was happy with him, just said he was on the right line. Make a few little changes and we'll move on. So that's them. We did have some good qualifiers. Dance Hall Babe, if you look at her line, you're like 2:3:31. James just went with an easy mile with her. I said, listen, man, we know she can trot in 58. Just get her qualified. She's got the SBOA next week. Great news. James said she wasn't touching her knee. She wasn't touching her shin. He said, Anthony, I just let her idle. She kind of shut down halfway down the lane, and I didn't want to start her back up and startle her, so I just let her trot under the wire. I said, perfect. That's great. Dance Hall Babe was ready to go in 58 today, so she might have went in 2-3 in the mud. Don't really care. I know what she was ready to do. Screaming Hawk qualified good. I'm glad that James got him around. He's now qualified. We'll race him in the maiden next week. Who else we got? Delcrest Star Angel qualified. She was right beside Screaming Hawk going under the wire. She looked good. Sylvain said, no, she was good, really good. She's got the City of London coming up, a year of stake races. I'm so excited to race this filly and have her look at her. She's been really, really good, and she looked great today. He left with her, moved her down the backstretch, dropped her in the 2-hole, come out, pushed through the middle down the lane, got up and beat a horse for second. She looked like a racehorse. I was very, very happy with Delcrest Star Angel. And then we had Warwi Ultra. We chose not to qualify her. I didn't want to tempt fate. You know, if she runs today, we don't get to race her in the SBOA next week. Maybe she's not good enough, her or Dance Hall Babe, but it's a good start for both of them. So we'll put them in next Saturday night at the SBOA, Standardbred Breeders of Ontario Association. I think anyway, it doesn't matter. The SBOA stake race next Saturday. Probably lots of fillies out, maybe some better fillies, but it'll be a good start for them. So Warwi Ultra will race next week. Jody Jameson will drive her, and he'll also drive Dance Hall Babe. James said Dance Hall Babe was great and did everything right, so I'm happy with her. Also, what else do we got? Stonebridge Simba, good cruising in style. He won the schooler. Well, no, that's not true. A pacer won the schooler, but Dance Hall Bay, or Warwi Ultra, Stonebridge Simba, and Cruising in Style were all together, finishing up. He won a mile in, I'm going to say 2 minutes. We'll probably take the headgear off him and go a mile 56 with him next week. Sylvain will qualify him next Friday morning. What else do we got? White Tiger made a little break. My God almighty. Right on the front, got everything his own way, made a break. James came in. I thought he threw his head. I was livid. I said, don't tell me that bugger threw his head. And he said, no, he didn't. He said he just went to switch gears and he rolled off. Hobbles were a little loose. He wore them tight last year. Plus, the track was a little hard, as I said at the outset. And he lost them. We're going to put a little set of pads on him and put him in to qualify on Monday. I'll be honest. I'll be the first one to say it. I don't really care about next Saturday's Pennsylvania Sire Stakes. There's a long year for White Tiger. There's a big gap in July. There's actually a substantial gap of maybe 3 weeks after this Sire Stakes. So I'm not super concerned about if everything, and I mean everything, doesn't go right. If he doesn't qualify good, if he doesn't go in and come out of the qualifier sharp as a tack, he's not going to Pennsylvania next Saturday. If he does, which I suspect he will, then we'll put him on the truck next Saturday to Pennsylvania. Tim Twaddle will be the trainer for next Saturday for White Tiger, and then he'll head to Andrew Harris after. If any of you are wondering and don't know and haven't heard it yet, the reason I haven't sent them right to Andrew is because it's 8 hours from here to the Meadowlands, down where Andrew is in New Jersey, and then another 6.5 back to Pennsylvania. So there's no sense. It's mathematical lunacy to send him 8 hours to Andrew only to ship him 6.5 hours back to the Meadows. The chance of him getting sick are obviously exponentially higher we start running them up and down the road. So White Tiger will simply ship into Tim Twaddle next week. He'll enter him into race, and he'll race him. So that's that. Casanova's Jewels trained really good after. We talked about that. Simba was good. And then we trained our Vika this morning in the mud at the farm. She was good. 10 hole on Monday. For those of you guys waiting to see her race, and I was too. Jesus Christ, 10 hole on Monday. And she's coming in after about 2.5 weeks. She's going to be a bit short. We trained her today. She trained good, but it's not like racing. And I guess we'll see. We'll see how she does on Monday, but she's been razor sharp coming in. So we'll see. Road Tripper races tonight, and then again, just a tad. Better Call Mike. I think there's one more racing tomorrow. I'm not sure. So, a bittersweet day. I'm not really concerned with the White Tiger thing. You don't want to see breaks. He's been training. He hasn't made a break all year. That's a lie. He made a break 2 weeks ago with no hobbles on with me halfway down the lane. So maybe we just put the pads on him, snug those hobbles up a hole, and get him qualified next Friday morning, or on Monday morning. He'll be ready to go. A little update on me. I was operated on yesterday. For those of you on Facebook, you saw it's unbelievable what this surgeon did. 6 pins, it looks like coat hangers in my wrist, inserted into my wrist. And the way that he's got them looped around my bones is really fascinating. If nothing else, it's just an unbelievable job from a layman, somebody who knows nothing about orthopedics. Wow. Do yourself a favor. Go on my Facebook page and look at just go down, it's on there somewhere. You can see the pins they put in. Wow. Just an unbelievable job with that. So the gentleman's name was Dr. Bischoff. Did a great job. Milton General Hospital, very, very happy, and by all accounts, very lucky to have this gentleman operating on me. He said 6 weeks the pins come out, the cast comes off. That gives me about 16 days of rehab. I'm optimistic. I think the first Sire Stakes for Pennsylvania and for Ohio, I'll be sitting in the race bike. I also thought that White Tiger would qualify today easily. So you never know. Life throws you curveballs sometimes. But, you do the best you can with what you have. I'm going to push on. Next Friday, I'm flying to New Jersey. I'm going to be in the sulky talking about our open house. Probably talking about my injury, but talking about the stable and what we do and what we're doing next Sunday. Saturday, we'll have 2 horses in the SBOA at Mohawk. We'll have our client dinner at Flamborough. We'll have horses racing at Flamborough also. I'll be in Pennsylvania, I believe, just to make sure things go right. That will be a contingency on White Tiger qualifying well and a decision being made with him. I would suspect a good Monday would lead to 4 horses racing in Pennsylvania next Saturday. I would imagine I'll just fly from New Jersey to Pennsylvania, stay overnight, get James to pick me up on his way to Pennsylvania, on his way to the Meadows, and then I'll head home with him. Lots of rest, though. Lots of rest. So that's today. I was so happy to see Delcrest Star Angel qualify good. Screaming Hawk to qualify good. For those of you worried about me and saying, geez, it must kill you, I haven't had any painkillers since 7 o'clock this morning, going on 7 hours with no painkillers, and my wrist feels better than it did yesterday on my way to the hospital. So I don't know whether it's a combination of Dr. Bishop. Well, it has to be the surgeon. I feel good, everybody. I'm bruised everywhere. I'll put it to you like this. I was talking to a nurse, and she went to put the IV in my arm going in the prep room, and she said, you are a mess. Both my arms were purple, like a burn victim almost. You've seen the pictures. It was really shocking. I bruised up that bad. My entire shoulder area is bruised. My back had road rash on it and had bruises on it. My right elbow was broken, but they didn't have to put a cast on it. It feels good. I broke 2 ribs and have a partially collapsed lung, or had anyway. I don't know how long that takes to heal. I don't feel that bad. And I actually am a little embarrassed saying it because I know people that have cracked ribs that have had to sleep in chairs and told me about the excruciating pain they went through. I don't feel that much. My wrist, yes, but it's not killing me. It's just sore. It feels, I would suspect, how a broken wrist should feel. But the rest of me is pretty good. I believe the way I landed on the ground, an accident, I guess. My torso took as much spread, as much damage as it could over my entire top half of my body, looking at the cracks and bruises, broken bones. They say when you land on your wrist, you fracture that radius. It's nasty. I forget what they call it. There's a word for it. I didn't do that. I cracked my radius as a crack up the radius, and it displaced ulna, I believe is what it was called. Sublexed ulna popped out. But it looks like it's going to be great. I'm just very lucky, and I said this yesterday. What we've built here is not built around Anthony. I love talking to you guys. I love my job. I love emailing. I love calling people. I love when you come out to the barn, and I love when they come to the races. Lots of clients and new clients and prospective clients at Mohawk today. I had a busy day. Just talking with people, and we had a pretty good day outside Old Tiger, and obviously the bad news with Angel, but for the most part a glowing success this morning. I love that, don't I? And if we have luck with the drivers we have, just goes to show that you don't need Anthony McDonald in the bike. The White Tiger drive will be James's for the year if he gets along well with him, which I guess as a driver is a little disheartening. But as the co-founder and operator of the stable, it's a good feeling knowing that we have professionals that can fill in, and you can only imagine. We all know who drives Sunshine's Finest. James does, but James had to go with one of Mark Stacey's in that qualifier. I almost didn't go with him. I almost asked somebody else to go with him, but I said I'll go with him. That had been James on that horse, his whole stake season, plus his trip to Sweden for the World Driving Championship would have been out the window. So it's funny how things go, eh? 42 years I never had a broken bone, and I broke 5 in the blink of an eye. But I am healing. I am on the mend. I am going to be fine. I'm in great spirits. Obviously talking to you guys helps with that, and getting your emails is pretty uplifting. Things are good. They're not bad. They're good. And I'm very excited about a 2019 season. I expect to be on the bike, in the bike, and stay in the bike middle of July, first part of July. So that was today. That's an update on me. I hope your guys' week is going great. Weekend's coming. Obviously, we got our 3 boys in Ohio. James kind of said to me on the down low, hey, I would have went to Ohio to drive them. Okay, I suppose. But Josh drove them last week. Drove them pretty good. I said if you had told me, I would have. But I also told Josh, he's sticking with the horses. He's a driver down there. He does good. But I guess he's like every driver, including myself. You're on a short leash, aren't you? If we have some good luck on Sunday, thanks, Josh. If we have bad luck, might have to punch his ticket. But Sunday's looking good. I know Pine get in a little tough, I think. They all get in a little tough, but I'm looking for, I think West 50 get in the toughest, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm thinking we're going to have a good Sunday overall. The horses look good. Jason gave me constant updates and told me they look good. Everything is looking good. We're making do. We found the trainer for next Saturday for the Pennsylvania horses. And Tim might keep the Casanova's Jewel horse in just a tad if they're racing good. But it's tough to make a go of it with that Stallion series. I mean, I want to see Cass do good. I want to see just a tad do good. And if they're doing good, maybe we sell them. But a lot of stuff going on right now. Really a bad time for this to happen. But as I said to somebody, 1, it could be really worse, and 2, I don't think anybody gives a shit about timing. It just happens when it happens. And I'm really lucky that I had talked to Mark, my brother Mark, yesterday. Shattered his wrist, and he said it hurts a lot, and it's a tough rehab. Mine didn't shatter, but it's a break. And I would take the broken wrist over broken shoulder blade, broken collarbone any day. So I'll heal up. We'll be just fine. I hope for a big weekend this weekend, and then hopefully we can set up and have a big weekend next weekend. A lot going on, a lot in transition, a lot of horses moving around. And then I've sent out the emails to the horses that are going to the sale so far. There's about 12. Now you're going to see some other horses that are in the sale. If I haven't sent you an email, it's because I don't believe I'm sending the horse. So Delcrest Star Angel, not going, obviously. I don't think Jailhouse Master is going to go. Not even Susie K, I don't think is going to go. But there are some that are rocking out loud. McNugget, 2 to speak of right off the bat. And then some of her older horses, Boston Glide, Lima's Son, they're going to be heading also. So anyway, this is a long video. Sorry to waste your time, but I did want to make sure I updated everybody on the qualifying situation. I was very, very happy with a number of horses today. Dancehall Babe, Warwi Ultra, Cruising in Style, Simba was good. What else do we got? Screaming Hawk was very, very good. I said Babe already, didn't I? Dancehall Babe. And then hopefully we have some luck tonight with Road Tripper. So just a lot going on, and I'm going to continue to update you guys as best I can, mostly with videos, because the typing obviously gets a little tedious after a while, and can hurt a little bit. So I got some help. Amy's going to help me with that. But we're going to try and turn some lemons into lemonade here in the coming summer. And hopefully we get White Tiger squared away on Monday. No concerns there, just a unfortunate mishap, but not an injury of any kind, no damage, no problems. We'll be back possibly on Monday. So hope you guys, as I said, had a great week, have a great weekend, and I will talk to you soon. For those of you around Campbellville, 70 horses training tomorrow. Tomorrow's training day. No drone though, we got the drone coming next week for the open house. So I have to pick up Ollie at school right now, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Take care.